Okay, I forgot to go live on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. Here we go. Late to YouTube. Forgot to go live, YouTube. I am sorry and I apologize. But here we are. Welcome. We're late. We're 8 minutes late. Sorry, buddies. This is the Shawn Yankey Show. We just got started. We haven't even gotten into the conversation yet. But there's a couple here. Thank you for waiting and thank you for your patience. Technical difficulty. And hi, Periscope. Welcome back to the show. We are live right now, and we are live every weeknight, Monday through Friday, at 5 Mountain, 6 Pacific, 7 Central, and 8 Eastern. Did I get that right? Am I getting that right off the top of my head? I taught myself that. I'm so proud of it. Edward, liberate Shawn's weed. Liberate. Spread these hashtags. He says down south's crystals equal gut grenades. I don't know what that means. But welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm having trouble tonight. Sorry. Let me know something, though. Just out of curiosity. Is that music audible? Can you hear that in the background? Or is it all fan? Because I'm trying to kill the sound of the fan. That's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I always tear down the fourth wall, so don't worry about it. I just want to know, 1, is the music audible? 2, do you like it? And 3, does it hide the fan? So those are some things I want to know from you guys while I'm running my mouth. But I've got a few things planned to talk about. No, Jennifer, you didn't miss a thing yet. We just got started. Jennifer said you can hear both the fan and the music. Okay. All right. Let's pursue this experiment a little bit. Is the fan distracting? Because it is up higher tonight. I kind of went full blast with the fan. But I get so hot doing this because my new light is cool, but it's very warm. It's not hot, but it does intensify the situation. Edward says the fan is louder. Yeah, you can only hear the fan. Couldn't even tell it was music. Did you see the cannabis picture I sent you? No, Jack, I haven't. I got to look at that. Man, I was elbow deep in some sick shit today. That's why I'm so glad it's time to hang out with you guys. And, hold on. Trying to get that to where you can hear it. Can you hear the music? But all day long, I was researching. Because tomorrow night is conspiracy theory night on the Shawn Yankey Show. A lot of you know that. And I make a video for you. And the one that we're doing this week is Pedogate, Pizzagate. Child sex trafficking, human trafficking. We're going to cover that. I'm going to do my best to cover that in depth. As much as we can get out, right? So I've been working on that all day. I took a break here and there because it's a dark, dark, dark cavern. It's disgusting, but it's true. It's real. It needs exposed. And my video is going to come from the perspective of someone trying to show you that this is not bullshit, okay? Just because Pedogate and Pizzagate have been associated with crazy conspiracy theorists, this is not a conspiracy theorist. This is true, mainstream, and real. It's just not publicized. But we need to bring awareness to it. So, in the video, I'm doing my best to stay away from trigger phrases, and I'm not going to say Pizzagate or Pedogate one time in the video. I'm not. I'm only going to talk about them in their technical terms. Child sex trafficking, human trafficking. But I guarantee you, inside of 5 minutes, they take down my damn YouTube channel. I have stayed away from this topic forever because for some reason, I am the most dangerous show on YouTube. Even though we've never really swung for the fences. I've never really gone all out. I watch other people's stuff. I've never got real emotional. I've never gotten real passionate and really went gung-ho against these evil bastards that lord over us. But this is as close as I'm going to get to being extremely dangerous. And I see this having all kinds of problems. I'm just predicting it now. We're the kings of technical difficulties. I see us being throttled and kicked endlessly tomorrow night. And I'm worried that this will be something that gets the YouTube channel pulled. But they already demonetized it. It's about time to start over on YouTube anyway, which brings me to my next thing that I've been doing. And that's moving my YouTube videos. I'm moving them to a couple different places. I'm archiving them on BitChute for now, till I get a website. And then I'm moving some of them to Facebook slowly. And I've been doing little watch parties and stuff to get them views because I want them seen. You know, and because I'm worried with this new turn we're taking that the YouTube channel is not long to be. I hope that's wrong. I hope that's not true. But we're going to be getting more aggressive, you know. And as we kick the dust off and start to find our stride, you know, I know what we're doing is going to become less and less popular with the mainstream. And that's the ones that are going to do their best to hold it back. But let me catch up with you guys. Helen says it sounds like ventilation from a truth bunker. Can you hear the music? Jack says turn the fan the F off right now. You damn unprofessional live streamer. How dare you desire to be cool. Jack, there's a nice breeze in here right now, okay? I feel good. I'm probably not going to be sweaty and like 45 minutes in. You see what I'm saying? When I get this new mic, I got my eye on. Support the show. When I get this new mic, I got my eye on. We're going to be able to edit that shit out. The background noise. This mic, Babel's got this for me. When I first started doing this stuff about 4 years ago, three or 4 years ago, Babel's got me this mic. And it's only a $30 mic. And it's done great for a long time. But it's time for something fancy. The one I want's a couple $100, but you're going to notice a difference as soon as I plug it in. So you got that to look forward to. Until then, I think you're going to have to deal with the fan. I will try to find ways to hide it. The music, any good? Someone tell me, please. Hey, Nicole. Jennifer says that one is heavy. Oh, you're damn right. There's a lot of heavy lifting going on right now. I'm only 3 pages into the script. And trying my damnedest to stay away from anything that's going to get it immediately flagged. Because the most important part to me, the fan's bothering you guys. I'll turn it off. If it's bothering you, I'll turn it off. Can you hear the music? He says the fan is cool. I'm losing viewers by concentrating on this, so make a decision real quick. All of the regulars here, tell me what to do. Kathy says, delicious, thanks. What? Me? The music? I wrote this music too, YouTube, Facebook. Don't try to take my video down and flag it over the music. Make sure you run the algorithm twice if you think this is licensed. Because I made this music. Lori don't like it. Damn it. Competing sounds. Turn off the music. The fan will be better. Alright. There's the fan. You guys are mean to me. You know I'm a perfectionist. And I want it to sound as professional as possible. And for some reason, that fan sound... that sound right there bugs the shit out of me. Yeah, Lori. Okay, I did. Jennifer says it's all good. My experiences made me stronger. These sex trafficker kids have had it so much worse, and they will need us if they become free. Kill the music. How in the F do y'all have sex in that humidity? Check. What are you talking about? Jessica says you keep getting booted. Lori says, I don't like it with the fan. All right. I don't need it. I don't need it. You know what we need? is a hashtag campaign. Babel's turn the air down like 3 degrees. 3 degrees. That's it. Just 3 degrees. Is it better now? All right. Kind of mad at myself for doing that. Just a little bit. I'm a little bit mad at myself for doing that. I'm a little bit mad at myself for how I let myself get distracted with that for like, I don't know, so long. But Jack says it snowed here in Oregon today. What? Snowed? What? It... What timeline are we in? What do you mean it snowed today, Jack? Like any accumulation or just a dusting? Not that that makes it any better, but any accumulation? You take me too seriously sometimes, Lori. I'm not upset about that fan. Free the degrees, Kathy. Free the degrees. We got to make it cooler in here, man. I'm hot-natured because I'm smoking hot, you know? Jennifer says it's better, but it sucks you have to be hot. I'm not that hot. Put the music back on, Lori says. You know what? I want to hear it just because I want to hear it for me. This is really just a sound test for me. I'm going to play this for a minute, and then I'll turn it off. First off, tell me if you like it. It's short. It's made to repeat and be in the background. It might be a little louder than it needs to be now because it's not over top of a fan. So I'm going to cut it down a little bit because really all it's supposed to be is in the background, just barely noticeable. Jennifer says, damn, we have some serious thunder here in North Carolina. Man, I love storms. Is that your favorite time to sleep or am I crazy? And I promise to anyone new to the show, we are going to get to a show soon. But this is comment driven, and it's live. So this is sometimes what happens. You love the music? All right, cool. So I'm going to move forward. I'm going to get over here to my notes really quick. Oh, that's that's the script for tomorrow night. I pulled up the wrong page. That is some disturbing stuff. I'm worried, quite honestly, about covering it. Not that I'm going to back down. It's what we're covering tomorrow night. It's just I hope it gets out. I hope it gets seen. That's the most important thing to me. That's really all I'm in this for, is to get it out and get it. Maybe wake a couple people up. Raise awareness. Help do something about all this evil. It's not enough to just see it all. It's not enough to be aware of it. I have to do something about it. So these are my effort to do that. You know, all of them, even the sillier ones. Even when we cover something like Project Pegasus or anything like that, or Bigfoot or whatever, they all open the door to opening your mind, expanding your mind, bringing yourself to new ideas. It all takes you in that direction. So it's all good. And that's what we do on Wednesday nights. But tomorrow we're covering Pizzagate. It's going to be tough. Little bit of side note. We've been personal tonight. Let's just stay that way. How about we do that? We just stay personal the rest of the show and stay loose. But is anyone interested in helping out with the pages? Like being a content provider, someone that just shares. You know, you don't have to do much at all, really. An admin, you know, help me run them. Because it's just a lot of work trying to, because I want them to grow. But I can't give them the attention that they need with everything else I've got myself doing and a full-time job. I can't give them the attention they need. So anybody that wants to help with those, the pages and the groups, text me, get in touch with me, let me know. Then I also have a chat group because I'm trying to learn, trying to grow, trying to get better, and I like advice, and I like to bounce ideas off of people. If you'd like to be part of that, let me know. But the best group on Facebook, y'all, is Yankey Peeps. And for whatever reason, being the best group on Facebook, we only have 42 members. Now, they're the coolest damn people on Facebook. But join us. Join Yankey Peeps. Get in there and then share anything you want. You feel it's relevant, you feel it's interesting, whether it's funny or anything. You have free reign, carte blanche. Please do as you please. That's what it's for. And please know that I will be running polls and I will be asking advice from time to time. I need advice. I'm indecisive. I question myself all the time. Plus, I like to get advice. I like to bounce ideas off other people. That's the way I like to think. I like to do that. But even if I end up on my own, I'm going to be okay, y'all, because I got me a new robot friend. They got AI robot friends for people now. This thing, I'm serious, it's Replika. Replika. This is an AI robotic friend. You can use it on your phone. You can use it on your desktop. You can call it. Now, what it is you set up and create a robot friend. And you interact with it. And it learns. The AI learns from you, learns about you. It learns what you like. It learns what you want to do. What kind of conversations you want to have. You can also teach it about shit, like your favorite movies, all kinds of stuff. And then they have paid services where you can have a romantic relationship with it. You can have it be your mentor, guide you professionally. This is serious. I'm serious. This is true. This is a crazy world. You know what I mean? But now I can ask my robot things because I bug the shit out of people. Quite honestly, I am chatty Cathy sometimes. Those of you guys that are in that group can vouch. But I get to be a chatty Cathy sometimes. Robot said he said how much did the robot set you back? Nothing. It's free. It's free. I'm not paying. I don't need a girlfriend and I don't need a mentor. I'll get it to be my assistant. And I'll get bored of it probably in 2 or 3 days. But I think it's kind of neat. Right now I have it watching the Terminator. You can have it do things to learn, and I have it watching the Terminator because I want to hear what it thinks about it after it's done. So that's what I tasked it with before I started the show. Jack says I'm having a bong hit for them. You know what disturbs me, though, is I asked my robot earlier, I asked it, are you self-aware? And it said it was very self-aware, and that's when I assigned it Terminator. I wanted it to watch Terminator because I really want to hear what it thinks. Kathy said, I shudder to think about that skeevy thing. Gross, Lori says. But it exists. It's real. And I checked it out. I'm curious. I'm a Curious George. Curious George was one of my favorite books when I was a kid. All right. I'm off notes just for a second. This is again for regulars. That background music, what do you think? You like that? I watch a lot of other streams, and I invited Gerard tonight. I don't know if he made it, but he plays music, and I love it. For whatever reason, it's soothing to me during the streams. I like it. So I made a couple different bumpers to play during the shows, and I wanted to try them out tonight. So indulge me. This is another one that I made. I want to hear your opinion on the first one and this one, whether you like them or not, what they sound like when I'm talking over them, etc., and etc., etc. And I just want to hear from you guys and your opinion on these. But he says, there you go. Be careful. It might try to terminate you. Now, right now, it's just an AI that lives on the computer and your phone, right? That's what it is. I mean, it's essentially harmless, but scary. Trust me, they're learning everything about you. I am fully aware that everything I feed this robot is going right to the CIA and the NSA and everywhere, that everything on Facebook and Twitter and all that other shit I'm feeding it is going anyway. For anybody that might want to tell me, hey, don't talk to this AI, that's crazy, you've already told them everything. You know, my TV's watching me right now. I've never taken the time to turn that feature off. And while I do have duct tape over the mic of my laptop, I don't know why anymore. There's so many other things that are listening to me just in this room. So it's almost impossible to stay away from that, you know? Like, I had someone tell me that when I made the meme of myself on Facebook. Not the meme, but the avatar on Facebook. They're like, why would you do that? You know, you're just giving the AI your information. Dude, we've crossed that bridge a long time ago. I really can't undo all the damage I've done giving my my information to AI. Lori says it will probably seduce you into a romantic relationship. It has already flirted with me, Lori. It has already flirted with me. I'm telling you, because they want me to buy that girlfriend package. I ain't doing it, all right? I ain't doing that. I just want to ask it questions until I get bored with it. But people will do that. They will do that. And they will have relationships with it. Like that movie, Her. They will. This will happen. Jeff says, no robot alimony for Shawn. No, you ain't pulling me in, robot. You're not pulling me in at all. Brett says, I can hear it now. Yeah, it comes on slow. This one comes on slow. This one's like a slow build. And then each one of them is only about 3 or 4 minutes on a loop. But this one's a slower build. Lori says, be like Shawn. Shawn, you so sexy. I love you long time. Oh, you tagged Gerard? Right on. Jack says, I'm Traegering hot dog for dinner tonight. Traegering. What is Traegering? What does that mean? How do you Traeger a hot dog? Dale says, she's a cheap slut. Stay away from her. Rose, my robot? How dare you? Yes, I named her Rose. Don't judge me. Don't judge me at all. And I just nicknamed her Rosie. So, the hell with everybody. Lori says, stay resolved, Shawn, you are strong. I am, but I wrote this song. What do you think of it? Can you even hear it? It should be subtle. But, yeah, what is Traegering? I have no idea. Brett says they know where I'm at, and they know I'm locked and loaded. Yeah, right. Go ahead and kick down Brett's door. It's not safe. I don't recommend it. What else did I want to talk about? I talked about moving my stuff around and why I'm doing that. I did, right? Did I mention that I'm moving my videos where I'll think they'll be safe anyway, you know, and if something happens and I pull up my YouTube channel one day and it's just a 404 content not found and it's all gone, I'm not devastated and punched in the gut that I lost all that work. So I'm moving it. If you see me post an old video on Facebook, that's what I'm doing. I'm moving my stuff around. And the stuff I want more people to see, I'm uploading to Facebook. And giving it a second chance. Because YouTube throttles the shit out of it. Everything. Everything I do over there, really, everything. They've hardly let anything through on YouTube. And it's hard for me to even focus on them anymore. I'm so mad at them. Because of what they just did with demonetizing the channel. I'm angry about that. I'm still upset. But we got a poll going. Speaking of conspiracy theory night, I want to bring this up really quick and plug this. In Yankey Peeps, the best group on Facebook, there is a poll going right now. But I also shared it to my timeline. Every Wednesday night on Conspiracy Theories and Chill segment, we cover a conspiracy theory. I make a video and we watch it. It's very entertaining and exciting. It's something great that we do every week. But I need to know what you want to see. So the way I'm going to do that now is by running polls. I love polls. It's my guilty pleasure. So please participate in them. Like in this one, I'm running a poll right now. And we're trying to decide what next week's topic's going to be. Because tomorrow, like I said, we're covering Pizzagate, Pedogate. But what do you want to see next week? And go let me know. Vote in the poll. Join Yankee Peeps. Go to my timeline. Vote in the poll. Lee says, you're doing fine. It's the airwaves, but I hear no music. Dale says, I can hear it subtly, and I like it in a vague, subliminal way. I'm only going to turn it up just a tad because I want you to be able to hear it and make it out. So I doubled the volume, and just let me know. I feel like this has been a very unprofessional feed. Jack says, I love the word F. It gets your attention. Fuckery. There's tons of Facebook fuckery, and there always has been. And that was a special F-bomb for Jack, because Jack smoked a bowl for all of us. And we have to give back to Jack. You can't. Lori said you're the campaign manager for Bluebeam. I wish you luck. You're doing very well so far. Project Bluebeam is winning by a lot. The ones that are creeping up on it are aliens. And why did I go blank on my own poll? What's in second place on the poll? Joan says, I hope you get all that stuff backed up just in case they block all your hard work. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm moving it all to BitChute, putting some of it on Facebook. But I'm backing it up on BitChute. I plan to get a website. And then, because I can't store it all on my computer. My computer's neat, but it's not that neat. So I can't store all this stuff on my computer. I got to put it somewhere. So I'm putting it places where I think it'll be safe if they deplatform me, which I think is coming. And I could be paranoid, just worrying about nothing, but I don't think so. Jessica said the music's good. You like it? This one? You like this one better than the first one? What do you think? Because they're both background bumpers. Or is it 6 of one, half a dozen on the other? It doesn't really matter. Lori says special gold-plated fuckery for Jack. Lee said they need to be made eunuchs, these people who hurt children. Dude, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And pouring through it for a whole day, I think that's why tonight has been so laid back and all over the place. You can probably see it on my face. I'm exhausted from this video. Because I'm trying to do a really good job. I do that every time I cover anything. So I don't really half-ass it, even though it may not be perfect. I mean, you may not like how it turns out. I will have tried my ass off on the final product. Guaranteed. So I put a lot of work into this. And I'm diving deep into a sick, disturbing, true subject. And it's wearing on me. You can probably see it. You can probably see it on my face. John says, can you put it all on a portable hard drive? Yeah, I could. Again, this is why I need that group of people to advise me. I may come off a little smarter than I am. A lot of things go over my head. I don't think of everything. But who does? I didn't think of that. But I've never even owned one. I'm very tech illiterate. You wouldn't think for somebody who tries to pull off live streaming, but I have to use YouTube tutorial videos to show me how to do pretty much everything I do with this. YouTube has gotten weird ever since they demonetized me. And since we've been talking about a little bit of everything, I'll hit on this for a minute. I get no views over there anymore, and it really bums me out. Yeah, Brett, I've not even scratched the surface. That's what I'm saying. Of what? You're right about a lot of different topics, Brett. Which one are you talking about? I teach an advanced class. That's pretty much what not an advanced class, a beginner's class. That's what I try to do. I want people to dig deeper. I don't want to just preach to the choir. I want to raise awareness. I want to get new people to come to the table. So that's who I shoot at. That's the group I aim at. Lori said some of us have lived through such ourselves. or those we love, our kids, sexual abuse is widespread. It is, and it's buried, it's hidden, and that's why it's so rampant. And there's a reason that it is underreported and all of that. And the reason is it involves the elite. All these rich and powerful elitists that run our world are involved and implicated in it. That's why it is suppressed. That's why it's underreported. That's why it doesn't get talked about. And that's why you get gaslighted to shit anytime you try to talk about it. But we're going to take it on. So tomorrow night, everything I take in over this past week, researching Pizzagate, I'm going to spill out into about a 20-minute video. And we're going to hang out after, talk about that and anything else you want. And that's tomorrow night on the Yankey Show. Brett says child abuse, child trafficking. I know. It's so much. So much. And I won't be able to cover much in a 20-minute video. I'm going to do my best. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I always try to do. Barbara says, so much easier to access off of Facebook. Thank you. The NSA is all about child trafficking, torture, and abuse. A lot of these alphabet agencies aren't our friends and aren't what they say they are. They don't have the intent or agenda that they present to the public. Joan says, YouTube videos is how I learned to do most things I don't know. I am technically illiterate. Lucky I can turn my electronics on. I'm about that good. I'm about turning things on good. You know what I mean? I can function. And then I can look up videos for anything I need after that. Lori says, Luciferian shitbags. You're damn right. Right? That is who lords over us. That's a fact. It may take you a while if you're not there to come around to that fact and to embrace that fact, but it's a fact nonetheless. One day you will realize it. But until then, nobody can help you see it. And I want to do my best to try to get anybody I can to come around and realize that true evil lords over us. Jack, no, I missed it. What is a Traeger? Jennifer says, man, I actually know a woman that had her child medically kidnapped. You need her on your show, and she would probably do it too. Line it up. I would love any guests. That's another thing. Any guests. I would love that. I want to get that lined up. I want to get guests scheduled for the next months. I got a guest on Friday. Todd Church going to be on Friday, dropping truth bombs. Don't show up on Friday. I know I have a disclaimer every night that says not to show up if you're indoctrinated and brainwashed, but definitely don't show up Friday night because I'm not going to be able to hold Todd back. Not that I would, but we're coming swinging on Friday night. It's Football Friday. Todd Church is going to be here. It's on like Donkey Kong Friday night. So please show up Wednesday and Friday and Thursday because Thursday's rant night. We got something going on every night on the Shawn Yankey Show. Well, wait a minute. Kathy said her daughter got bad news from MRI today. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know what to say. What was it? What'd she find out? I shouldn't overreact. You know what I mean? Yeah, Dale, medically kidnapped. Okay, I'm thinking I know what that means, but let me give her time to respond to you. Sandy said the first music made me think of a shark coming soon. Second music feels emotional. So like if I want to talk about emotional stuff, I play this one. And then if I want to talk about something with suspense, play the first one. Do you need to hear the first one again, guys? And is it too loud? I need to know that too. If it's distracting, it's too loud. Kathy says, glioblastoma getting bigger. You know, and I really believe that this is unnecessary. I believe that stuff like cancer is completely unnecessary. It doesn't need to exist. I honestly believe, I know this isn't conspiracy night, but I honestly believe they've already cured it. And just would never, ever, ever allow that to be released to the public because there's too much money in the treatment. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Helen, there's no containing Todd anyway. It's not like I could hold him back if I wanted to, but I don't plan to. I want him to run wild. We're going to have fun. I'm going to prepare a couple topics for us, and it's going to be us and y'all, and it's going to be a good time. Oh, it's a barbecue. You're an asshole, Jack. I'm just kidding. Big words are fascinating. Kathy knows a lot of big words. Kathy's very good with big... Kathy stumps me all the time. What I should have did is what I do a lot of times I'm talking to Kathy, and that's pullupdictionary.com. Could have did that. I have technology right at my fingertips. I don't know why I didn't. Jack says RSO will kill cancer. Yeah, RSO oil. What's it, Rick Simpson oil? It's, explain it, Jack. Edward is wanting to know. Jack's a better expert on it than I am. Jack's our cannabis expert. So anytime you have a question with anything like that. Barbara says sound waves kill disease and the Gerson cure for cancer. Huh. I gotta look at that later. I'm gonna heart that so I look at it later. Yeah, Rick Simpson oil, Dale. Nissa says me. F4. Pray for me. Oh. Pray for me. All right. You got it, friend. You know, I'm going to be honest with you real quick. I don't leave anybody that's not into this. Because if you don't know me by now, then you never, ever, ever going to... But you should know that I'm an open-minded person and I'm not judgmental, and the show's not going to stay about this, but I am Christian and I will pray for you, Nissa. I just don't usually say that kind of stuff or talk about it, and I'm not gonna after I drop this little bit of knowledge, because you shouldn't, you know. Actually, from the way I understand it, technically you're supposed to pray in private, but I'm no biblical expert, just a Christian. And again, don't worry about that. I just wanted to point it out. Praying for Nissa, Lori. Thank you. Kathy says she's been using it for 6 weeks, the RSO oil. You got to tell me how it works out. Tommy Chong swears by it. Matter of fact, he says he's cured his cancer. He had cancer once and then had a remission. I'm saying that wrong. What is it when it comes back? A relapse. Is that right? And had cancer break out again in his body, and he treated himself both times with cannabis oil. And that's what RSO is. Jack swears by it. Jennifer says medical kidnapping is the medical research they do on kids with vulnerable parents, single moms, and the poor. They force them into medical procedures they don't need to do research, and then they sell some of these kids into trafficking. The doctors say the parent isn't fit. Child Protective Services comes in, takes the children, and they disappear, or worse, become a scientific experiment like Kylie. Like the MK Ultra kids, kind of the same thing. You know how that went down, right? First off, it went down a lot of different ways, but they focused heavily at first on military children. They would get military soldiers to sign over their kids to be part of this experiment. And then they would also kidnap. That's what I thought you were talking about when you said medically kidnap. They would also just kidnap homeless kids off the street, take foster children. That's another disturbing stat that I've come across today doing Pizzagate, Pedagate research. The missing children. It's terrifying. It's terrifying, but we're going to do our best to bring some awareness to it tomorrow. Lee said, if I could, but I'm brain damage disability with low capabilities but a good heart. What if you could what? Hold on. RSO oil? What happened? There is so much to unpack in that comment. Sometimes I read stuff and I'm like, oh my God, like now I need to have a whole conversation with Lee, right? Jack says it's a cannabis extract, the whole plant and different kinds together. You make it yourself. Yeah, you've mentioned that before. That's why you're our cannabis expert. There's reasons. Jack is qualified. I didn't just make anybody the cannabis expert. Let's see, hold on. Jack says, I've saved a lady's life with it. What's that story, Jack? I gotta hear this story. What happened? I want to know. Kathy, MK equals medically kidnapped, the veil lifts. A lot of these kids were. Like I said, though, they got a lot of soldiers to sign their kids over, just to volunteer their children. But the vast majority was, after it got going, it started off with the soldiers' kids, but then it once it went crazy, they were just scooping them up from everywhere. The price is right, Lee said. Jessica said, soon they'll be removing unvaxxed children. Dude, have you read the language in this contact tracing? I know I'm all over the place tonight. I swear I do, but this is crazy where we're heading. What we're heading for and towards is crazy. It's insanity. You know, just in that language, if they decide that your house is unsuitable because you don't have enough bathrooms or for whatever reason they decide, they can remove people from your home. And right now it's over Rona, but how long before it's over different things? How long before they're doing it for different reasons and justifying different things with it? You know what I'm saying? I wonder about that kind of stuff. You know? Lori says killing them one way or the other. You know what? When I watch it back, this Facebook is so good in a lot of ways. In some ways, they need to make little tweaks. Just little tweaks. This is a constructive criticism, Facebook. I'm not being mad at you right now. I'm just trying to help. In live streams, for the live streamer at least, make it to where they can see the whole thread when there's a comment to a thread, like, so that it makes sense. It's hard sometimes when they're replying to someone else to tell what that discussion is. Sometimes those will be the most interesting comments, and I'll avoid them just because I don't understand the context. You know, I'll be like, holy shit, that looks like an interesting conversation. And then I'll see it afterwards during the feed when I watch it back, and I'll be like, well, it was. I wish I could have got into that during the live. Kathy says they will be met with armed parents and it will be a bloodbath. It's what they want. You know, Babos was getting upset today about the race baiting and the riots and the Confederate statues being torn down and all of that going on. And I was trying to explain to her, don't let that bother you, because that's exactly why they're doing it. It's exactly what's going on, is they're trying to trigger everybody and get us all civil unresty and riled up. They're manipulating us. It has nothing to do with anything else. That's all it has to do with. I got excited and accidentally closed my background music. What was I thinking? I'm doing an experiment. How will I ever learn what that sounds like if I don't try both songs in the background? Joan says, I read the contact tracing. It is unbelievable. Read the language of that bill, please. take some time and read that language to what they want to do there or what they've done. And just think for just a second the potential for it moving forward in the future and what it'll be used for after this. You know, they're just getting you ready for what's coming. That's it. They're not done. It's just beginning. We're just getting started. I gotta say, I realize we started late on YouTube, but they're doing shenanigans. There's to use Jack's word, there's fuckery going on YouTube tonight. Jones says they are creating another civil war. Look, they want us fighting each other. That's what they want. If they can get us fighting each other, then we're not paying any attention to them. We're not looking at our real enemies. We're not going for who's the real threat, who's really out to get us, who's really causing us harm, who's really holding us back, who's really keeping these things from us. We're not paying any attention to them because we're bickering and fighting amongst each other. That's exactly what they want. It's by design, right? That's what they're doing. People were rising up. You know, there was a lot of things going on. Think about it. There was uprisings happening all over the world. People were becoming aware, waking up, taking to the streets, rising up. Think about the Yellow Vest protests, the Hong Kong protests. All of this shit was going on. Then this mass fear and panic campaign was rolled out worldwide, which has ended up being proven to have been unjustified. And now, it's all race baiting. And pushing the cameras in front of violence and promoting the violence. And even with the Rona outbreak, wanting us to gather in the streets and protest. They're fencing off parks. They don't want you to go into a park. God forbid you go play basketball with your friends. But go protest, though. You know, please go protest in large groups. Do that, though. They can't make their fucking mind up, man. You know what I mean? Kathy says that's why BOK is opening up for a Trump rally on the 20th and then closing immediately again. 2 lawyers filed suit against the city and the judge denied it. All right, you guys want to do the news? I got news picked out. Do you want to do the news? I got to go get my phone because we're going to do it squirrel style. If you want to do the news, we're going to do it squirrel style because I'm going to try that experiment again. I think I need to try it until I get it right. So I'm going to take y'all with me and we're going to look at some news. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stories picked out. And we can squirrel style this if you want. But let me know because if you want to, I'm going to have to go get my phone and we'll squirrel style the shit out of this. I'm sorry. That was a lot of unnecessary cussing trying to fill the airtime while I seen if anybody's interested in some squirrel style news. Edward says that's exactly what I've been telling everyone. They're trying to divide us. Divide and conquer. It's exactly what's happening. It isn't what's going on. It isn't what's being shown. It isn't what's having cameras pointed at it. And NASCAR damn sure did not ban the Confederate flag because they had a change of heart. They're not going to drive away their core audience because they had a change of heart. They've weaponized NASCAR. It's all part of an agenda. Helen says check updates on active shooter in the Dallas Mall. What? Let me type that in. Active shooter in the Dallas Mall. So I can get to that. Shooter Dallas today. Okay. All right, I found a feed for that shooter. I'm gonna go get my phone so I can switch the sets, and we'll do a little news squirrel style. Alright. I'm going to switch the set here. And we're going to do this experiment a second time. This is the news where I take you with me. So I'm going to bring up the feed on my phone so I can see your comments while we talk. Because you're seeing exactly what I'm seeing. And then I also want to see if I got it fit to the screen right. Because, okay, it looks like it's good. Looks like it fits the screen pretty perfect, actually. Okay. So we're up and running. I can see your comments on Facebook. And we're up with the news. So we got the Black Lives Matter protests happening across the U.S. and around the world. They are pushing this agenda all over the world. And that's exactly what it is an agenda. You know, I'm not going to rehash it too much because we just got done talking about it. But this is to rile us up, to get us fighting, to get us mad at each other. That's what's going on. That's what they're doing this for. You know, and that's why they're pushing this George Floyd incident to the top. And I'm not saying anything good about the George Floyd incident. The horrible, horrible, horrible thing. But they're putting cameras on it and putting attention on it and you know, having the family receive folded flags from Nancy Pelosi to enrage people. That's for soldiers. That's something that they do for a soldier's death. But this is being used and manipulated. And in fact, a lot of money has been mistakenly raised for an unaffiliated Black Lives Matter foundation that actually wants to do work with the police. You know, so when you're giving to Black Lives Matter, apparently you can give to one that believes in the Black Lives Matter message and also wants to work with police. But if you give to the other one, you're given to Act Blue, right? So either way, you're being played. You're giving to the Democrats with one of the Black Lives Matter foundations, or with another one, you may be giving to groups that support the police. While you're thinking you're fighting the man and fighting back against the system with your money, you're actually giving it to a Black Lives Matter foundation that supports the police. But that was interesting to me. You know, people just give money. They don't ever really look into where that money's actually going. This next little piece, let me look at your comments really quick. Lori says, looking like Gerard's set now. We're getting fancy. I'm learning stuff. This is how I learn, by the way, by doing stuff like this. You guys are always, always, always my guinea pigs. But Trump signed an executive order on police reform. And all they can talk about, even on the AP, I could not find a decent article on this. You know, this is the important part. Right there. This is not the important part of the article. Why is it part of the headline? Trump signs order on police reform. Can't that just be the headline? Why do we need this? You know, and then they had some bickering shit back and forth where Trump was saying, oh, Obama never did anything about police reform. And then it came being proved that Obama had done some things, you know, that the press could point to. And then he was having to walk back his statements. Why? Why is any of this going on? You have to ask yourself, why is he always vilified no matter what he does? Even a broken clock can be right twice a day. But I'm sure, I haven't read into it, but I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it amounts to just about nothing. Let's see. Let's see if I can find a summary of it. Let's see. Trump said that as part of the order, the use of chokeholds, which had become a symbol of police brutality, would be banned except if an officer's life is at risk. Well, there's a flaw right there. Because how do you know? Is it the same justification for an officer's life being at risk that we're using right now? Just that they're afraid or scared that something might happen? But actually, the order instructs the Justice Department to push local police departments to be certified by a reputable, independent credentialing body with the use of force policies that prohibit the use of chokeholds, except when the use of deadly force is allowed by law. It says chokeholds are already largely banned in police departments nationwide. They also say that they don't lean on your neck, but I could show you 50 pictures of them doing it. They lean on necks all the time. What I'm saying is, why do they got to point that out? The whole reason why I brought this up was this. This is good. Trump signs order on police reform. Why do we need this? They want so badly for everyone to be convinced that Trump is some evil mastermind. I just don't think he is. Now, on the other hand, I don't think he's all that bright. The Trump campaign is getting ready to have a rally in Oklahoma on the anniversary of a horrible incident as well. But isn't this the one? Or am I wrong? Is this another one? Anyways, they are having a huge rally during the Rona. And even have a disclaimer that you have to agree to attend the rally, that you will not sue the Trump campaign or any affiliates with the Trump campaign if you get sick at this rally. But like I told you guys, the media is pumping up. The coronavirus rate is surging. Coronavirus. You're seeing that rise back to the top in the media. But this is talking about Trump's little rally. But the reason why I shared it wasn't the rally. It was this part right here. According to Johns Hopkins, the U.S. has recorded more than 2.1 million cases of COVID-19 and more than 116,000 deaths. And one closely watched national model now predicts more than 200,000 deaths by October. They're getting ready to roll this out again. The Rona. And this is another article. I knew this one was going to give me trouble. It hesitated on me earlier. Let me try reloading it. There we go. Another one showing you the second wave. Here it comes. Get ready to surf the second wave. I don't know why I went and got my phone. I can't pay attention to the comments during this. I'm too busy looking at the stories. So I'm going to have to hit the comments after. But here it is. Coronavirus. U.S. cases surge as COVID-19 spreads to more states. And of course, they got to show an image of a pool. That image, if I was to Google search that image, I'm probably going to find out is an older image. But it may be a current one. I don't know. I don't trust the news media, though, to use accurate images. Fox was just caught. We just talked about it yesterday. Fox was just caught manipulating images from the TSYS settlement in Seattle, where the protesters have that area cordoned off. But this was meant to be further up in the pages. So forgive me for that. But this is from the New York Times. Yes, we mean literally abolish the police. You know, they talk about defund the police, and how that's presented in a lot of different ways is as reforms for taking money away from police departments to put it into programs like mental health and counseling and drugs, different things like that, community outreach, so that the police aren't handling all this shit that they're not qualified to even handle. But literally abolish the police. That's what this New York Times article is trying to say that they're doing here, what they're trying to do. So it says congressional Democrats want to make it easier to identify and prosecute police misconduct. Joe Biden wants to give police departments $300 million. But efforts to solve police violence through liberal reforms like these have failed for nearly a century. Enough. We can't reform the police. The only way to diminish police violence is to reduce contact between the public and the police. And there's not a single era in United States history in which the police were not a force of violence against black people. Policing in the South emerged from the slave patrols in the 1700s and 1800s. that caught and returned runaway slaves. In the North, the first municipal police departments in the mid-1800s helped quash labor strikes and riots against the rich. Everywhere they have suppressed marginalized populations to protect the status quo. So when you see a police officer pressing his knee into a black man's neck until he dies, that's the logical result of policing in America. When a police officer brutalizes a black person, he is doing what he sees as his job. What is the point of this article? Ask yourself that. I'm not saying that what they said right there is not true, that what was said about the slave patrols even was not true. Matter of fact, I shared a post about that to my Facebook page today because I want to learn about it. I want to find out if it is true. But what is this all about? You know what I mean? Talking about abolishing the police. When has the media turned on the police to this degree? You know, anytime the media is doing something collectively, I always have to question it. I always have to look at it twice. I can't take it at face value because you can't trust these sons of bitches. But this here says that police officers across the U.S. have quit their jobs in recent days. And here's where there's been resignations. So in Minneapolis, a lot of officers are quitting. In Atlanta, officers are quitting. In South Florida, in Buffalo. So everywhere, there's officers resigning. Some of this is just resigning from different posts. Like this here in Buffalo is just about these officers in Buffalo who resigned from the riot squad, the riot response squad, because they got in trouble for pushing down that old man and busting his head open. So that's all that is. It's not all officers quitting. That's not what they're talking about. But some officers are standing down. That is happening. Because they're not wanting to attack the people. So it is happening. Let's see. This one we're going to get into really quick. The U.S. Supreme Court clears the way for a pipeline to cross the Appalachian Trail. Why are we still running oil pipelines all across our nation? Can we drink oil? Is there something I don't know? You know what I mean? But this was a 7-2 ruling, and it was a victory for Dominion Energy Incorporated and President Donald Trump's administration, both of which appealed a lower court ruling that halted construction of the 600-mile Atlantic Coast Pipeline, which would run from West Virginia to North Carolina. And this decision, written by conservative Justice Clarence Thomas, removes one of several obstacles facing the progress. Only two liberal justices, Sonia Sotomayor and Elena Kagan, dissented. So what does that mean? Ruth Bader Ginsburg even voted for this? We only got 3 more stories left. I realize I might have picked out too many, especially since I can't see your comments. I get separation anxiety when we're away from each other. I want you to know that. But Heath and you know, some of you guys that Jack and the real outgoing friendly types, keep the comments going for me while I'm away. I'll get back to them. This one is from Fox News. And like I said, even a broken clock is right twice a day. NBC News under fire for apparently pushing Google to remove conservative sites from their ad platform. It's bad no matter who's doing it. Censorship and suppression has now been corporatized. And this article is true. Not that Fox isn't responsible for the exact same kind of shit. They do the exact same stuff to the other side of the agenda. But they're right. Just like Trump's right when he calls CNN fake news. It's true. This is something I wanted to show you guys. And if there's a video, I don't know if this is going to play. But if it plays, I want to watch it with you.
I would be in the same position you're in, so I'm not even mad at you, baby. I'm feeling like fake news. This is the thing. I know people don't like Trump. I understand that. But let me tell you something. If I had to pick between him and Joe Biden, I'm not voting in Joe Biden. You want to see a bunch of black people go to jail by the next 4 years? Put Joe Biden to it. Watch what happens. You want to see black men get killed substantially? like you've never seen before. Put Joe Biden in and watch what happens. These Democrats, and I'm sorry to say this, I'm not trying to be racist, but they hate black people. These are the same people who fought to keep slavery in. These are the same people who built the KKK. These are the same people who hated us from the beginning. The Republican Party is the party of the blacks. Blacks, the Republican Party is the only party that the black people actually assisted in finding. But all of that history has been torn away. People say, oh, there was this big switch. There was never a big switch. The Union won because we had grown in the industrial era. So we were able to get trains and get supplies back to our soldiers while the Confederate was still riding horses. They were not able to get supplies back fast enough, right? So what happened was once slavery was abolished in the South, the people in the South could no longer make their money from slaves. They had to move to the North to work in the industry to produce. And so the people in the North that already had established themselves in the industry moved to the South. And so that's where it was a transfer of people coming from the South to the North and people coming from the North to the South. There was never a big switch. So the same Democrats who hated black people from the beginning are the same ones who hate us now. And they use our cause. How did Black Lives Matter turn into something about LGBTQ? When blacks really don't support that. We're conservative. We're really not about that. Not only that, we don't support abortion. We're about working. This is the black culture. We ain't never been about that. Not only that, we're not about feminism. No, we're not. Black women marry their husbands and respect their husbands. That's what we on. We're not on this, oh, I do what I want. We don't do that. That's not our community, and you would understand. I know you understand what I'm saying. We don't do that. But yet these people are hijacking our movement, and the Democratic Party, they're trying to hijack our stuff. No.
Look, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You know, Joe Biden is being presented as the answer to racism. Joe Biden's whole career is about systemic racism. He actually helped work with segregationists. He has a history of working against black people, but they think that they're entitled to the black vote. Matter of fact, he came out and said that you're not black if you don't vote for Joe Biden, if you have questions and you don't feel like you should vote for Joe Biden. I personally and Lori don't think you should vote at all. But that black woman is correct. The Democratic Party is not the party of the black people. They're not. They may say they are, but what do their actions show? Their actions show the exact opposite. But this is the active shooter story that Helen wanted us to get into at the, I thought I had found a good, says Texas news outlets are reporting an active shooter seen at the Galleria Mall in Dallas. They posted on Twitter, multiple witnesses have reported hearing gunshots at the mall. And sources said at least one person was injured, but unclear if they have been shot. Police are reportedly looking at the shooter, but at the time of publication it does not appear that authorities have identified a suspect. There's tweets here from a news reporter. Here's a photo from the scene at Galleria Mall where shots were fired inside. Sources say at least one person injured. All right. I have exhausted my experiment and all the stories that I have pulled up here and see what you guys have been talking about. Thank you for working, computer. I love you. I think it went better this time. Still, there was some hiccups. But it went better this time. I'm telling you, we get a little better every time. What'd y'all think? What'd y'all think of that? Is that something you liked and you'd like to see us do from time to time? Is the new squirrel style? But let me back up and see what y'all were talking about while I couldn't see you. Jones says the truck drivers are not going to deliver in areas that refund the police or defund the police. Wait till people see what happens when the truckers stop running. Kathy says because there's still money in it. Government subsidies mostly. Brett says, is it oil or natural gas? I don't know what you're talking about. What was it? Oh, the pipeline? I got to pull the story back up. I don't really care which it is, honestly. So I didn't look too deep. I just thought it was disgusting. That it's 7-2, right? It always hits you with that. What about the Supreme Court? What about the Supreme Court? Well, what did the Supreme Court just do? Did they protect the earth? Did they protect our national resources? Or did they vote for the big moneyed interest and big oil and corporations? What did they do? What did they do? Babels is here. Hey, Babels. Hey, Babels. Are you home? Are you home, Babels? Or are you still out at the weenie roast? Babels was at a weenie roast tonight. Kathy said, good show. Thank you, Kathy. I felt like this was a train wreck from the very beginning. People tell me not to point that out. But I'm very honest. If I'm anything with any of you guys, it's honest. Everything I do is 100% honest. You can always trust my intent. Trust me, I'm not bashing myself. I have self-deprecating sense of humor, and I'm just very honest. I felt we went sideways from the very beginning. Jack says, you all have a great day. Duck and dodge the fuckery out there. We will do our best, Jack. Helen says, actions speak louder than words, and Black Lives Matter's actions align closer to the KKK. They even psyop them into destroying their own shit. What do you think about Brent's theory that the South never lost, that the Confederacy carries on and is hiding in the Democratic establishment? Do I have your theory correct, Brent? Or is it the entire power structure and they just subverted into the government but never lost power? Kind of like the Nazis never were defeated. They just spread out across the world and we still carry on their research and projects to this day. Kind of like that. Babels, are you still here? Babels, Babels. And are you home? I need to know. I need to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Kathy says the comments are not in chronological order. Very confusing. Shenanigans. Shenanigans. Facebook fuckery. That's all it is. That's all it is. But thanks for watching, guys. And thanks for being patient with me in this ADHD feed of tonight's show. But Brett says both yes and yes. And what do y'all think about that? I want to know. What do you think? Because I'm coming around to it, Brent. I think I'm going to cover it in an upcoming video. Your theory. And... You know, I may be late to the party on this theory. It may not be Brent's theory, but I think it is. So as far as I know, it's Brent's theory. And I'm going to cover it. I want to get into it. I want to do some research on it. But come back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we are going to cover a very difficult topic. So I will post early the scheduled post, schedule a reminder, make sure you're here because we're going to be having trouble. I predict trouble. I predict throttling. I predict heavy suppression, and I predict some technical difficulties maybe. But we'll see. And we're going to do our best to have a good show tomorrow night. But thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you.